going on? It's Fizz, bringing it straight from my heart for me to you. That's what I do. Looking at Killzone. I don't know what, I think it's like Killzone 4. I don't know what the name of it is really. But ever since I've received my PS4, I've been playing this game, Blacklight Retribution. I will be planning on posting more Killzone and Blacklight Retribution to my main channel, Fisticuffs, and this channel as well. I'm going to be moving on to a lot more different games. I'm going to be more of a first-person critic of shooters, just not Call of Duty, because when I play games like Blacklight Retribution and Killzone and other first-person shooters, I get the feeling of the game. And then when I switch to other first-person shooters, I understand some of the stuff that I can take from other shooters and add that information into my playstyle, vice versa, whichever shooter that I'm playing, which is very valuable information. And seeing and watching Vince Zampella, the director at Respawn, and watching him develop his game and the advice he's taken from the community, including mine, which was very important on release date, I thought those were $1 million ideas that I have given away, and there's just no other way that you would release it on the second week of March without me saying that in my video, which is kind of weird. If you want to see that video, I will leave that link in the description below. I thought it was one of my best videos. I did a bunch of other videos, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to sit here and do everybody's job on the internet for free, because people frankly will take all your advice and won't give you any credit or pay you any money, and that's where they look to get the advice. But what I'm going to do is either I'm going to just post videos without telling people what they're doing wrong, or just not do that anymore, or B, I'm going to offer my services. And I think that I would like to reach out to the Killzone people who developed this game, because in my heart of heart, I think that Killzone could be the best first-person shooter on the market if they act on my advice, ASAP. You would have to start working on the next Killzone for the PlayStation. I think they have beautiful. Here is my critical thoughts on the Killzone studio. I think they have mastered building maps, map design, weapons, and certain weapon loadouts, but they lack zero direction. And it's nothing personal. I would go in and it's not going in there and being a dick and saying, your game sucks because of blah blah blah, this and that. I would be like, yo, let's sit down, smoke the peace pipe if they did. Just as a figure of speech. And say, look, these are the things, I'm in the trenches, these are the things that we could change to make this game truly epic. And we go from there. And if if developers are not open to my ideas, then so on, and I'll just go on and do either just post videos of the games that I like and not bother digging into these games that are like halfway done, and just get a job and do what I do, or B, get into the industry myself, find somebody who sees my track record in predicting and all these things with the games, and understand that what I'm saying is, if they got me in there and followed my direction, I could put every first-person shooter out of business overnight. I'm looking at Killzone because here's what's happening with Killzone. Everything in Titanfall, most of everything out of Titanfall was stolen in some regards from other games. That's just how the industry works. Excuse me. And if you look at the weapon style and setups that are stolen, that are in Titanfall, plagiarized, the same thing that because Respawn makes those ideas better than everybody else, then what happens is a domino effect. Then Call of Duty or the people at Infinity Ward steal those ideas, and they just become watered down. You know, the ideas are not original. Here's the problem: when you steal ideas, that means you do not respect them, and if you don't respect them, you don't love them. And if you don't love them, and people don't, if you don't love your ideas and you don't love your work, then you don't respect it. And if you don't respect it, then how do you expect the community to respect what you're doing? You could see Killzone. You could tell the developers, they love what they do. They love the maps. They are so happy to design the maps and weapons, but they have no direction because no one is playing their game. So they have no input into which direction they go into. I was watching the meeting that they were having earlier, and these guys were talking, and I'm like, listen, those little bitty crowds of people that are trying to tell you what to do with their game, they're not going to help you. You could just get rid of them, the crowd that you have now, because it's not existent in the first place. So the point is, just come in, let me clean the slate, and I will put this game out the window. And this direction of esports, building games that are for esports community, the only reason why it has a voice is because the people who are in that community only play a certain amount of game, only play a certain style of map. They only play a very certain style of game within your game. You know, there is the blindness in there. When you start thinking of competitive, you're just as narrow as you would be in thinking of developing the game to your own style. It's not appealing to everybody. And the point of appealing to everybody is to keep your game relevant in the social stratosphere. If you do not keep your game relevant in the social stratosphere amongst all, in just these you know, you cannot make a game strictly around esports. Nobody will buy it. And if nobody will buy it, then how are you going to keep your game relevant? You have to keep it beyond the relativity of just esports and your own style of developing the game. You need to bring somebody in that is in touch with everything, like myself. And I believe that if I had a chance to sit in with people at this game, I could make Killzone the best first-person shooter of all time. It has incredible weapons, incredible sound, incredible maps, incredible graphics, next-gen graphics. I don't know how the people on the PS4 put up with Call of Duty's frame degradation and terrible port from the Xbox, Microsoft domination contracts over, you know, the Call of Duty franchise. The only reason why Respawn is why it's succeeding is because of the fact that EA has lawyers like Activision. They may be able to steal stuff, but they can't shut them down. And that's why they are where they are today. You look at Killzone, they get all their stuff stolen from them. Everything. And there's nothing they can do because they're irrelevant. That's sad. And I tell you right now, I'm going to do some vlogs this weekend. And anybody who's making a first-person shooter out there and they want to contact me, get a hold of me through Twitter. You know, I'll drop everything I'm doing for the love of a really good first-person shooter. And I will tell you what's wrong with your game. If you want to fly me out, you want to make me part of your team, I will put my sweat equity of knowledge of 30-plus years of gaming and then some into your game. There's no way that you could beat the knowledge in my head for a first-person shooter. Either somebody is going to get me in there with their team, or I'm going to go out and make my own first-person shooter. You can choose. The little bit of knowledge that I post on my YouTube channels, Infinity Ward, Respawn, all copy what I say and put it in their games. And you can bank on that and go check it. It's legit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this amazing respawn, or not this respawn, this amazing Killzone gameplay. I love this game. I think this game, the bottom line, this game has so much potential. You know, they're so close, and I can understand their style of game. You know, like I can understand things about it. Like I can understand why there's choke points. I can understand why the game moves as slow as it does. I can understand the philosophy. It makes sense to me. But there's a lot of things that I don't think the developers understand about the game in general, as how it relates to sales. You know, because the bottom line is sales. I mean, if you're going to sit here and tell me, and you're in a Google Hangout, and you're like, well, we got deadlines to meet to push this game out, and blah, 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 that means you care about sales. So you do what you can do, but the bottom line is you care about the sales, and you care about... You know, I'm looking at Killzone and these developers or lead developers. They barely have 1,000 followers on Twitter. They have nobody following them. They have no input. They have nothing. These guys are making this game like Treyarch was making Call of Duty 3. Nobody cares about them. You're irrelevant. Fly me in, hire me, put me on as a co-producer of this game, and I will take Killzone to the promised land. I will guarantee that I will take 100% stock options with just a salary to keep me housing and food. That I can make Killzone a $1 billion game. Guaranteed. Fact. And if you want to bank out that, you call me on Twitter. You at Killzone or whoever is over there at Killzone, call me and I'll make this game the best selling game, cross-platform PC. I will blow this game out of the water. Period. They won't be talking about Titanfall. They won't be talking about Call of Duty at all. Battlefield will be a memory like Medal of Honor. You will be the best game that's ever touched first-person shooter history. That won't even be like, this will be the best game ever. Anyways, I'm done talking. You know where to reach me. Like I said, I think this game, it is on the verge of excellence, on the verge of being the best first-person shooter. But you know, you have to. Hey, listen. The bottom line is this: if you're a developer, you have to use your brain. You look at Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, he took the guy from WhatsApp, right? I'm talking to you developers. The reason here, I'm trying to sell you why you should make me part of your team. This is why. Because I'm going to tell you right now. The WhatsApp guy and those guys who got fired as engineers from Yahoo, they applied for jobs at Facebook and got turned down. You could have had those people for nothing, right? Nothing. But because you didn't hire them, and you had the opportunity, the resources, you had everything in the world. And I've given this opportunity already to Call of Duty. And they don't hear me. So they can die. And I'm giving you this opportunity. You guys. So they turned these guys down from WhatsApp. And guess what? They went out in 4 years. In 4 years. You guys have been making Killzone how long? More than that, right? In 4 years, they turned around and basically destroyed the cash cow for phone company texting and surpassed Facebook in users. Because they were in the trenches and had the epiphany on what was going on. That is the same thing what I'm doing. In the trenches, having an epiphany as to what is going on. Now, instead of you paying $19 billion, because I know you don't have the money to pay me, even close to that. because I know it wouldn't be that anyway, but that's just an example of the ratio that you would have to pay for someone like me. You can make me a co-producer of Killzone, give me stock options on the company and salary and room and board, food, whatever, and I will turn this game around and make it $1 billion franchise. So you can be something with, you can gain a lot from something instead of nothing from anything. So you could pick me up and be billionaires and famous, or you could pass me by and see me at the top of the ladder. Anyways, until next time, get the fuck out of here.
It's weird.